What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jaron Boots Ennis. Get this, Jaron Ennis dares Terence Crawford to come get your belts back. Ennis, the last thing Ennis wanted to do was to be gifted a title. However, the IBF stripped Terence Crawford of their belt. Ennis was gifted, or in other words, handed it the crown. Okay. And this is what he had to say. He said, I just got to keep winning and keep making noise. He said, keep stepping on these guys. They gotta see me. Okay. He said, if he wants to prove that he's the best, he said, come and get your belts back if you think you're the best in the world. And let me counterpunch. Jaron Boots Ennis is very talented. He's very big for a welterweight. He's one of the rising, hungry guys. He reminds me of his mentality. Well, he reminds me of a Keith Thurman light. When I mean a Keith Thurman light, I mean Keith Thurman back in 2017. You better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son. That guy. I just think he's a little bigger. I'm not sure about power because, Keith Thurman was a bad boy back in the day. I don't care what nobody says. But as good as it may sound to call out Terence Crawford now, to tell him to come get his belt back, as good as it may sound, he fails to realize that Terence Crawford is contractually obligated to fight Errol Spence Jr. next. Okay, so Terence Crawford is in no condition, at no liberty to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. In fact, before Terence Crawford signed that contract to make that fight with Errol the Truth Spence, they offered him a fight at BLK Prime, which that was the platform that went belly up. But it was the platform that Terence Crawford fought on. Him and Adrian Broner as well was supposed to open this new platform, BLK Prime, if you guys can remember that. Well, he turned it down. He turned it down, showing owner or loyalty towards, wait for it, PBC. Okay, and because he did that, that fight never happened for him. So if the fight never happened for him then, what makes you think that that's going to happen for him now? Okay, because there's a bigger fight on the horizon. And more than likely, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford are going to fight again at 154. Okay, whereas him worried about, hey, come get your belts back. Well, he doesn't even know what weight class he's going to fight. He just knows he has to fight Errol the True Spence. Okay, it's all in the contractual agreement. And Terence Crawford has already showed and addressed his feelings towards the IBF. Okay, and I'm going to talk about them now. And this is how I summed up the IBF versus someone like another sanctioning body like the WBC. The IBF, they're sticklers. The WBC are crooks. Okay? So you got crooks and you got sticklers. So you got somebody that breaks all the rules and you got people that keep the rules even though they're not the best, smartest thing to do. Those are sticklers because they do things, for the sake of the greater good, but then it doesn't help anybody and it's counterproductive. Them taking the belt away from Terence Crawford was a shit show. It was a stupid decision just based on their own desires to keep their rules intact. And they don't care how it affects other people or champions that they may have to represent them. They don't give a shit. They just want to impose their sticklerage. Okay? They just want to impose their laws and, hey, we are about our business, says the IBF. But your business doesn't necessarily make sense if you know that there's a guy that has all the rest of the belts and you know that there is also grounds from when you could have stripped Errol Spence, but you didn't do that. That was just stupid. Whereas the WBC, they just break all the rules whenever they feel like it. So, I mean, that's exactly what it is with those two guys and those two belts. So I don't think, saying all that to say this, I don't think Terence Crawford gives a shit about fighting for a belt like that anyway with the IBF. Because if they're going to do things like that, who wants to deal with people like that that are not understanding enough just for the sake of doing something that they say they're going to do without hearing the champ side, Terence Crawford's side. Now, if Jared Boots Ennis, it was gifted down to him, okay, it sounds good, but yet when you had the opportunity to fight Terence Crawford, you didn't do it. What you do, you stayed with PBC and Showtime, you and your pops, and that's what y'all did. Y'all did not want to take that chance. You did not want to fight Terence Crawford then, so I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Terence Crawford was a free agent when he left Top Rank. Okay, so in between Top Rank and getting with the PBC to fight Errol Spence, they had this whole opportunity, this window of time, this window of opportunity to fight Terence Crawford on the platform. And their excuse was, oh, well, we're not going with BOK Prime. We're staying with Al Heyman and Showtime. That's what it was. So it's, again, it sounds good to say, but it's another thing to, to really mean it. You know what I mean? And Jared Boots Ennis, I know it doesn't look good for him, just somebody handing him the belt. But again, I think if he really wanted Terence Crawford, he would have had Terence Crawford. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Jared Boots Ennis daring Terence Crawford to come get that IBF welterweight belt back. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.